We have a bunch of stuff to go through here in today's video. The entire Warzone 2 map being revealed, all of the points of interest, some MW2 maps being remade, even some MW3 maps being remade as well, which I'm personally super hyped for, and a bunch more regarding this game. If you guys are new, would like to subscribe, I would definitely appreciate that. We're now only 600 subs away from 92K on the channel, so appreciate all of the support recently, and be sure to drop a like on the video as well. Before we get into the info, I want to talk to you guys about a new game releasing very soon, Nemesis Distress. It's a unique multiplayer sci-fi horror experience that aims to create unforgettable cinematic moments. Remember, this is not a shooter. In Nemesis, you are not the hunter, you are the prey. The goal here is to survive and complete your secret objectives as well as the main mission. But beware, in multiplayer experience, you're not playing a full co-op. Any other player might be a traitor and will aim at sabotaging you and your objective. Sneak your way around the ship, find useful items, take advantage of the noise mechanic and all the tricks around the ship. Every time you enter the main ship, you'll have new randomly selected objectives to complete. Each attempt should be a bit different every time you play, as enemies spawn differently, item placement is moved around, and much more. You'll have that one main objective to complete, so you could safely extract from the map. Here's a quick look at the in-game overview map of the ship here in Nemesis Distress. It really shows you how much is going on with this game here. With this map, you could find item stashes, important rooms and locations to explore, and much more. You could open and close doors from the computer console, or even temporarily lock them for strategic purposes. You could also access CCTV cameras to spy on other players and use that to your advantage. A lot of things going on here. There's a lot more with this game. I definitely recommend checking it out. The beta for this game begins on Thursday, May 19th, and will only last for a couple of days. The full game is expected to release later on towards the end of June. So if you guys are interested in this super ambitious project, Nemesis Distress, a link to the game will be down below in the description and in the pinned comment. Now, as you guys probably know, in my video yesterday, we went through a bunch of stuff regarding that leaked footage of Modern Warfare 2 releasing, and then the whole Tom Henderson article where he revealed a bunch of info on Warzone 2, new gameplay mechanics and features and stuff like that. And we're going to focus on the points of interest, other MP maps being remade in MW2, and explain more as to what that leaked gameplay was all about and how it might actually be Warzone 2 leaked gameplay as opposed to MW2 leaked gameplay, which is also very interesting. But first up here, the points of interest and the map itself for Warzone 2 I find super interesting. So we have this, all 18 Warzone 2 map POIs sweeping from top left to bottom right. So on screen, you'll see the actual POIs. I'll read through them. And then next to that on screen, you'll also see a concept image of what this Warzone 2 map is going to look like. This isn't the real image, of course, but this is pretty much loosely what it looks like here with the river and the locations and all that stuff. So first up here for the Warzone POIs, we have Oasis. Again, this is top left to bottom right. War-Torn, Quarry from MW2, of course. Oil Field, Modern City, High Rise from MW2, Caves, Afghan, Dam, Marshes, Harbor, Sierra, Observatory, Mountain Town, potentially Favela, Graveyard, Old Town, Shipwreck, Fish Town, Fort, Airport, which is going to be Terminal. So of course it's going to be a lot easier to understand where these locations are on the map once the official map comes out and what the terrain looks like. This concept image here is just assuming everything is kind of similar. You just have this one, general color scheme here. The roads and the river and that center lake are most likely extremely accurate, but everything else there, obviously, we'll see how the terrain looks once the actual official map comes out. And of course, this list here of the Warzone 2 POIs is not confirmed. It's not official. I mean, it's very credible and very likely to be the case, but these names might be a bit different. But even if these names are different when the actual game goes live and launches probably next year, the final POI names will most likely be very similar to what we're seeing here. So these might be a mixture of official names, but code names as well. So for example, Oasis, it might actually be called Oasis, or it might be another name, but it takes place in an oasis. You know what I mean? So it might just give us a hint as to what the area might be like. Or for Quarry as well, that might be a remake of the MW2 multiplayer map Quarry, but the final POI might not be called Quarry. So it's going to be Quarry, but it might not be called Quarry. So here, obviously, this just gives us a good idea as to what these POIs might look like, what they might be referring to. This could very well be the official list, 100% accurate, and what we're going to see in Warzone 2. To be conservative here, just for the sake of the video, I'll say some of these POI names might be in the actual final build of this game, and some other might be just code names, but still referring to the final POI or location in Warzone 2. Now, let's talk more about these locations here on this map. The Ghost of Hope says this: my guesses on which other POIs could be OG Modern Warfare maps as part of the Warzone 2 map based on placeholder names from Tom Henderson. So we have Aground from MW3, Shipwreck, Oasis from MW3, Oasis, Rust from MW2, which could be Oil Field, and then Seatown from MW3, which could be Fishtown. So again, on the left are the MP maps, and then on the right are their corresponding potential points of interest on the Warzone 2 map. Now, again, I said in my previous video that for the most part, for Modern Warfare 2 and for Warzone 2 as well, most of the nostalgia and remade content will probably be pulled from Modern Warfare 2. I mean, the name of the game is literally MW2. It's Warzone 2. Obviously, we're going to see the most amount of remakes and remasters and stuff from the original 2009 MW2 game. But I said I would not be surprised whatsoever to see some other content from maybe even COD 4 Modern Warfare, but also Modern Warfare 3, which personally is one of my favorite games of all time. It's the first COD I ever played back in 2011. I have so many memories playing that game, and nostalgia aside, I think it's a really, really fun Call of Duty. So, of course, this is not confirmed, but if some of these Warzone POIs are referring to and are going to be old MW3 maps remade and brought into this map, that would be so, so sick. So, just to give you guys some backstory here as to what these maps are, because a lot of you guys might not know them, Aground was a DLC map for Modern Warfare 3, and it was a part of the new Face-Off game mode, and the map was released for everyone on Xbox 360 for free on May 16th, 2012, set on the Irish coast. The map features treacherous cliff faces, networks of caves, and the rusted and ruined remains of a grounded transport ship. Such a cool map. I didn't play it too much. I wasn't really the biggest fan of Face-Off, but it was really, really sick back then. Another map here, you guys may not know, Oasis, another really cool map, an MP map, of course, from MW3, released a part of Content Collection 2, that DLC pack. It took place in an upscale desert hotel in Dubai and features the new ability to go underwater, similar to the map Getaway. Really, really cool here. Apparently, Oasis was also available in Call of Duty Online and apparently in COD Mobile as well. So these are two super sick maps, and just a quick side note, a lot of the MW3 DLC maps are really underrated. So, so cool. But to see some of these more obscure MW3 DLC maps a part of the Warzone 2 map would be really sick. And also, side note, I mean, if they're part of the base MW2 game as well this year, that would also be really, really cool. And of course, Rust here. We know Rust from MW2. But someone else does say that this could be referring to MW2's MP map Fuel, which makes a lot more sense because Fuel is literally an oil field. So that would probably be what it's referring to, but not confirmed, of course. Final one here, one of my favorite maps of all time, MW3's Seatown. If Seatown is a part of Warzone 2, and please, if Seatown is in MW2's multiplayer, oh my god, I mean, I can't say this is going to be the best game ever, but Seatown, in my opinion, was such a goated map. I mean, I have so many great memories playing this map, and Tom Henderson says this as well. So many memories of lying on that bridge on Seatown during infected games. Exactly, I feel you 100%. And again, it could be partly because, you know, MW3 was my first COD, so I was playing Infected for the first time. I was playing 6v6 MP for the first time really ever, and I just fell in love with Call of Duty back then. So I just have so many fond memories of playing those classic MW3 maps, specifically Seatown. But I feel like even if MW3 isn't one of your favorite CODs of all time, or maybe you didn't like that game, you could still admit that Seatown was a pretty solid map, great layout, super cool vibes, and I think it would be deserving to be in Warzone 2, or at least in MW2's multiplayer. So let me know down below your opinions on that, and also let me know any other MW2, MW3 MP maps, or maybe even some COD 4 maps you want to be remade and brought onto the Warzone 2 map, or maybe just Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer in general. Now, some more stuff here on that leaked MW2 gameplay we talked about yesterday. The Ghost of Hope says this: got a feeling that the leaked footage is actually from Warzone 2 tutorial. The fact that there's a pop-up on the middle left talking about the tag map and contracts and stuff like that. The UI is the same except turned green in bottom right instead of blue. Armor plate icon is still there, etc. Only thing really different is no minimap which would make sense if a tutorial was explaining things step by step, and maybe it didn't pop up yet, or it won't at all, and the compass being a darker color and less detailed with the numbers and stuff like that. So a very interesting point there. And again, I mean, at first when I saw that, it did look pretty nice, and I definitely thought it was MW2, honestly. But if it is Warzone 2, it looks a lot better than what Warzone looks like. I'm not saying Warzone is a bad looking game, but I feel like sometimes Warzone could be a lot better. I mean, if you have a really good PC, Warzone looks great, but for most players, Warzone doesn't look that good. And I'm pretty sure that most people think that Modern Warfare 2019 looked a lot better, especially on console, than Warzone did. So for Warzone 2 to look that good and look more like Modern Warfare, I mean, I'm so hyped for that. And again, the main thing here is for Warzone to be better optimized as well. There were so many issues with Warzone. So for Warzone 2 to not only look better, but actually perform better as well, again, especially on consoles, that would be a huge plus here. So super hyped to see that pre-alpha gameplay, that early leaked gameplay of potentially Warzone 2 looks that good. But keep in mind, nothing is confirmed here. That still could have been some other type of MW2 gameplay, whether it's from the third DMZ mode, maybe from MP, maybe some other mode we don't know about yet, maybe something that was scrapped. I mean, we don't know for sure until it's officially confirmed and revealed by Call of Duty themselves. Someone said, seems a bit too open for a tutorial. The Ghost of Hope responded with this. You could see the guy headed towards some type of white icon in the distance. So if they want us to try out different things within Warzone, it's best to make it detailed like that. So I agree with him. Obviously, just because it's too open, I mean, doesn't mean it can't be a tutorial. I could see you just being dropped right into the Warzone 2 map, and they give you a guide as to what to do, where to go, what objectives to complete, how to actually get your loadout, etc., etc. And just because it's fully open doesn't mean it can't be a tutorial where it's kind of guided as well. If you run off on your own, then that's on you, and you're not following the objectives of the tutorial, you know what I mean? So I feel like that could easily be the case there. But again, very early. We don't know for sure what's happening. And again, that's like pre-alpha gameplay. That's early gameplay. So you can't really take anything that you're seeing there with full confidence, because obviously anything could change. And Warzone 2 especially is further out in development. Modern Warfare 2 is releasing this fall, but most likely the rumor is that Warzone 2 is releasing next year in around March of 2023. Not confirmed. Warzone 2 could definitely release this fall as well, but the rumors are that's going to release next year, a couple of months after MW2. So if that's the case, we still have a while away for, you know, the development and info of Warzone 2 coming out, and I'll be sure to update you guys once we get more information on that. But that's it here for this video. Again, be sure to leave your comments down below, stuff you want to see for MW2, Warzone 2, features you want. I'll be sure to use your comments, shout you guys out in future videos. If you guys are new, would like to subscribe for the latest updates on MW2, Warzone 2 reveals, info, etc. Really would appreciate that. There are two other videos up on screen that may interest you, so be sure to check one of them out. Really do appreciate, guys. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.